So in this video, I wanted to talk about two very cool, very affordable pens, both of which I like a lot. First of all, we have the Zebra Fortia 300. It's a pen I've talked about before. It's a ballpoint pen from Zebra, sells for between $4 and $6. And then we have the Surari 300. This is a gel pen from Zebra. It sells also for about $4 to $6. And if you just see each of the pens in a store or maybe online, it's not really obvious what the differences are, aside from obviously them, one being ballpoint and one being a gel. So I kind of wanted to run through them and talk about why I recommend the Surari, and then talk a little bit about this pen, the Emulsion Lx. So first of all, we have the Fortia. This pen is a ballpoint pen. Again, sells for about $5 on average. A lot of metal hardware, but the body is plastic, even though it has this metallic paint job to it. Really nice click mechanism. Just a great feel to it. Much nicer than I would expect from a $5 pen. And a grippy section area, even though it's on the thin side, has a very nice feel, it's very comfortable. And if you open the pen up, you could see it uses Zebra's F series 0.7 millimeter ballpoint, and that's a sort of refill that you would find on something like the F701 or the FXMD. It's fine, it gets a job done. It's not great. It's not super easy to replace, but you can put a Fisher Space Pen refill in place of it. Here we have the Surari 300, and this is a very similar pen in that it sells for $5 or $6, has a lot of metal hardware with a grippy section area, but this is the gel pen. The Surari is the gel line from Zebra. Here we see, again, metal cone, metal ring here, metal click mechanism. This click mechanism, it looks nicer, but it definitely feels cheaper. Doesn't have as refined a feel. This pen moves to a brushed aluminum body, which is very nice, and it comes in this awesome color. This is like a burnt sienna or a copper or something like that. I really think it looks sharp. Here we have the grippy section area, but a slightly larger diameter pen. Might be a little hard to make out, but it is slightly larger. So actually, I find this pen to be more comfortable. This one doesn't open at the cone. It opens here. The grip opens. Doesn't make a big difference, but note that for later. And we can see it uses that Zebra EQ gel refill, which is actually a very adequate refill. Very cheap to replace, and pretty easy to find replacements, and it writes really nicely. It's a 0.5 millimeter. Looking at the two pens compared, we could see the different click mechanism, the different band here. It's larger on the Fortia, different clip. The Fortia definitely has a cheaper looking clip. Different bodies. This one is metal. The Fortia is plastic. And then, but again, largely similar pens, with the main difference being that's one's a ballpoint and one is a gel pen. Between the two, I would definitely recommend the Surari. I think it writes nicer. I think it looks nicer. I like the extra diameter. I like the metal body. I really like the colors it comes in. And for $5 to $6, this is a great deal. That said, if you need a ballpoint, the Fortia is a very nice way to go. It's like a little bit more practical and executive looking than the F701. Doesn't look like you're using it out in the field. It's just fine in the workplace, whereas the F701 looks a little bit industrial maybe. The Fortia is very comfortable. It has that grip section instead of knurling, and yeah, it's just a solid ballpoint. The other pen I wanted to talk about back here is the Zebra Emulsion Lx. This is a pen I've had for a long time. I'm not sure when or where I got it. I know it wasn't particularly expensive. It was probably $5, $7, maybe $8. And this is a gel pen. It uses the Emulsion. That was the Zebra gel series before the Surari came around. And I wasn't quite sure where this pen fit into the sort of history relative to these, or the hierarchy relative to these. But having looked at them previous to shooting this video, I'm pretty sure that the Emulsion is the predecessor to the Surari. And let's kind of run through some of those differences. And just for the record, the Z-Emulsion does not, at least in this LX model, that's the luxury, I guess the metal version, does not appear to be on sale anymore. Haven't been able to find it. Maybe you could find it on eBay or something, but it's not generally available. So now we have the pens lined up. We have the Fortia, Z-Emulsion, and then the Surari. You could see clearly the two on the right, the Z-Emulsion and the Surari, use the same button mechanism. That's the that kind of squared off button as opposed to the rounder one. They feel the same, they sound the same diameter and height clip band right here. Then you can see obviously they have the same clip. The Fortia has a cheaper, smaller clip. Both of them have that brushed aluminum body. The Z-Emulsion is just, I guess, just brushed aluminum, like a natural aluminum, as opposed to being anodized or whatever this one is. And then both of them have really similar designs as you go down the pen. And again, the real telling piece is that whereas this one opens at the cone right here, both the Surari and the Z-Emulsion open at the grip. So my guess is that the Z-Emulsion Lx is the predecessor to the Surari, and that about covers it. Probably maybe not a super interesting revelation, but I was curious how the Z-Emulsion line fit in and where it went. My guess is it's basically been replaced by the Suraris, which are available now and are quite good overall. Do a quick writing sample and we'll close this out. Start off with the Fortia 300. So this is a thinner ballpoint. I believe it's a 0.5 millimeter. We will move over to the Surari. It's also the 300. And this is a 0.5 millimeter gel. It's just a lighter, smoother feel than the ballpoint, which is to be expected. Obviously, it's not going to be as versatile if you want to write on all sorts of different materials, but on a nicer paper like this Clairefontaine, the gel is very nice and it's very smooth. And now we have the Z-Emulsion Lx. And just note that this is the 1.0 millimeter. I'm not sure if this is sold in other sizes, but worth taking that into account. Z-Emulsion, I think I got that. And this is the LX. So definitely a broader line to it. It's not huge for a 1.0 millimeter, but definitely broader. You can see that 0.5 millimeter gel is quite skinny. A 0.5 millimeter ballpoint is not quite as skinny. And then just very broad here, the Z-Emulsion Lx and the 1.0 millimeter. It writes nicely. It's very fun. I like it in the broader pen. But it's not as clean a line as the that skinny 0.5 millimeter of the Surari. So there you have it. That is essentially the Fortia versus the Surari, and then a little bit of history or detective work with the Z-Emulsion. So thanks for watching.